Should solo lawyers early in their career consider a lateral move to becoming an employee in another law firm? And if they are, what are the considerations in making that decision? This was a question at the heart of a recent Facebook post that I had the privilege of talking to a solo lawyer about. And the Facebook post reads, um, I'm at a crossroads on how to proceed. Should I stay as a solo and try to grow slash hire or find a firm to take me on? And assuming I decide to go back to a firm, I don't know how to approach firms without sounding either desperate or arrogant. Employers are understandably reluctant to hire new calls. I want to be quiet, but I'm worried about emailing firms I'd see myself, not just a big law, but several mid-sized firms. Um, I don't know how to tread between desperate cold emails or sounding like a sleazy call salesman trying to sell myself to the highest bidder. And so the TLDR is that he's a junior lawyer with a partial book of business, not sure if he should be staying as a solo or going into becoming employed at a different firm. And so his major reasons, what you talked about in the post, is that he wants to save time spent on non-billable business development. He wants to have more time in learning, and he wants to have the ability to refer files to other people internally. I think at a really high level, the question was really around whether he should be staying as a solo and going through that process, or if he should be going to a different place. It was the lateral piece. And from my perspective, I think the biggest thing that I emphasized is he needs to identify what his priorities are, because not all small firms are built the same, not all mid-sized firms are built the same, not all large firms are built the same. And while, yes, being a solo has a lot of downsides, one of the biggest benefits of being a solo lawyer is flexibility and a choice of how to tailor and price your legal services. And for better or for worse, that flexibility may not be as present in an employment relationship. Oftentimes in an employment relationship, you lose a little bit of control and your working style, your flexibility and all that stuff, right? And so the first piece that I emphasized was, in order to really engage in discussion properly, you really need to understand what his priorities are. Over the course of the conversation, it started to become apparent that some of the things that he was really looking for really revolved around support. And if that is the key question, support, then the questions that you've got to be considering really need to be examining what type of support does the alternative have, does the new firm have. And the fact of the matter is that in this market, speaking as of the data recording, there's switching to a new job, switching to a new position doesn't necessarily guarantee job security, right? And that, I think, was something which I would emphasize, especially in this market, because we are living in a very challenging economic times. And you've got to be mindful that with going to a new firm, you're going to lose some control of the way that you bill and price to your clients. And if you stay in your firm, you have the flexibility to control some of those key facets. The other piece is that a lot of new firms, or going into a firm, they may not necessarily provide the support that you're looking for to answer some of your needs, right? So, for example, if you are moving into a new firm, you might need to take on the salary of an assistant. You might need to contribute things to some of the other expenses, right? So in making a decision, you need to understand, identify where your alternative, your new firm is going to integrate and tie in and address some of the interests that you want satisfied, right? Um, and if you assume that a new firm is going to do that, and you don't ask the necessary questions, then you might find yourself disappointed, and then you have to actually remake the wheel, and then there comes some challenges around that. So what I would say, and what I said to this lawyer is that when examining the alternative, when examining potential employers, ask questions around what are the things, what are the ways in which they're going to be addressing some of the priorities that he needs addressed. So, for example, if it's mentorship, then what are the opportunities they have for that mentorship? You have it. If he wants more of a business development type of focus, then what are the pieces of support that is going to be provided to ensure that some of the legal service delivery components can be provided, right? From my perspective, especially being a digital first lawyer and really leveraging technology, he should be asking questions like, what type of technologies does the firm have to help him deliver value to clients and help him deliver efficient legal services? Perhaps in answers to those key questions, moving to a different firm isn't really going to be addressing some of the things that he's facing. Conversely, if he wants to stay in the solo practice, he probably wants to figure out what are the key pieces that need to be addressed in order for him to be more satisfied with the practice he's got. And again, one of the key pieces here was support. Like, support was a really big thing. And I started talking to him a little bit more about, if you're talking about support, that support can be found in online groups. It can be found in one-on-one mentor and coaching relationships. It can be found in group relationships. And the key thing I emphasize is that, at least in my experience, trying to run a practice by yourself without help is virtually impossible. And I know, speaking from my own experience, my growth in my practice has been premised on the support I've gotten from Facebook groups and my paid one-on-one advisory and mentorship experiences, right? I really do believe that law school doesn't really teach you some of the necessary skill sets in order to become a business owner. And that if you want to run a law firm and you want to run it as a business, then you need that additional advice, right? And not only that, a lot of the way that he was running his practice, it really wasn't leveraging technology at all. And so one of the other theses I said is that invest in tools and technologies that will help make it easier to deliver services more effectively, right? So the different pieces of technology. And by finding help, by using technology and understanding how the integration of technology enhances the quality of life, that's really foundational to you building a practice that really enables thriving. I call it the thriving solo lawyer model, right? And so just by way of background, the thriving solo model consists of 3 key elements. It consists of your practice blueprint. It consists of your process playbook, and it consists of your happy client experience. And by building those 3 elements, you're able to get optimized workflow systems. You're able to create client-centric service, and then you're able to create sustainable growth and profit. If you find yourself in this position, don't jump into a conversation about going into legal practice or jumping into an employee without identifying what are your priorities in this relationship. It's the same advice that, by the way, I'd give to anyone considering a joint venture, right? Focus on internal questions first. Identify what are the things you want out of the relationship, and then use that as a foundation to assess whether this employment relationship or this joint venture is going to be viable. So hopefully that gives you some insight as to what you should be considering if you're considering a lateral move to a different firm. One more thing, if you are interested in learning more about the thriving solo lawyer model and how the model can be applied to your practice, I've got a free email series at modernlawyerblueprint.com. And again, it's a completely free email series where we'll actually go through step by step some of the challenges of facing your legal career, the role of 5 different types of knowledges that you need to address each challenge, and how the thriving solo lawyer model, and each component of it really applies to your practice. In any case, again, if you need that, just go to modernlawyerblueprint.com and you'll get access to the free email series. Chat soon. Cheers.